My name is Cosulich Canarutto and I'm the director of Artissima. I've been working in Torino since 2012. So the fair has been, since then, my biggest challenge. Yes, Artissima is a very special and peculiar fair because it's a public fair, so it's always had two different objectives. Of course, it's a commercial fair, but at the same time, it has a cultural goal as well. The directors in the past 6-7 years have always been curators, and we have this amazing opportunity to launch new projects and to innovate and also to think about initiatives outside the fair. And that's maybe why Artissima is known to be so experimental. In a way, if you look at the past, if you look at the sections, and if you look at the projects we've done, for example, Back to the Future, which is a section dedicated to the avant-garde, so 60s, 70s and 80s. And this year in particular, we're going to look only at the years from 1975 to 85. So works dating from those years, and it's quite incredible the quality. The booths are monographic and they are really museum quality exhibitions. So we have been the first fair to look at the avant-garde with this approach. Last year we have launched a new section dedicated to performance, and usually performance in fairs is treated as an initiative, to kind of and live in, and do some noise. But we wanted to approach performance as a commercial section, so to give really to the artist the best possible opportunity and to treat performance like any other medium. Then we have launched a program of dialogues in the fair that kind of want to move away from the presentation mode where you have a talk and you sit in a room and with an audience. So we have asked curators to create an informal conversation within the fair and among the booths. So they're like creating these short dialogues, and they have the public following them. And it's a great opportunity, of course, to discover works, themes, approaches, and to look at the fair with their eyes. And this year we have asked curators to be in dialogue with collectors. So this year is really the year of the collectors. We are involving collectors in different initiatives. And this one is, of course, one of the examples. So two different ways of looking: the collectors who's buying and who's kind of picking her own favorite works, and the curator that maybe kind of goes more in depth. So this is another new initiative for us. But then there's so many new projects that were launched by Artissima. We have, just to tell you how Artissima is a public fair, we have a space within the fairground which is dedicated to the museums of the region, of the city, which has an amazing network of museums, foundations, collections. And this year I've asked a young curator to curate the show, picking works, of course revolving around the particular themes, but picking works from this collection. And it kind of shows what is the incredible treasure that this city and this region holds in terms of contemporary art. At the same time, we also have the opportunity of thinking about other projects or side initiatives. Usually the VIP lounge is a very static and functional space. And this year we are doing the first, I think, we are the first fair who thinks of the VIP lounge as an exhibition. And it will be an amazing space called Opium Den. curated by an artist, Maurizio Cattelan, who he's going to look at a Baroque villa that has Oriental influences, and he's going to intertwine Oriental motifs with contemporary elements, with carpets, so with drawings, with really kind of an eclectic approach to furniture design and different influences. So that's a new project as well. So Artissima is really the fair of the city. It's very much tied to Torino and to its character. This is a very important issue for us, of course. Italy is a country that maybe now apparently is not so active, but it is also one of the countries that has the biggest percentage of important collectors. I mean, Italian collectors are very sophisticated. They go around, they travel, so they come to Artissima. If they don't buy there often, they make contacts with galleries and then they go to their countries. And this is something which is very important for the galleries. We know that they appreciate that because we know that the Italian collectors are very, quite active and well known. At the same time, of course, as you're saying, it's important to, with this, in a world where art fairs are continuously originating and developing, it's quite important to think about the power and the force of the market in the fair. So I'm using a lot the city as a strategy because Torino is an incredible, amazing context for collectors that come from abroad. And for me, it's very important to stimulate the market by by inviting and by having more and more collectors from different countries. So we are doing a special invitation program, and we know, for example, that our VIP program is one of the most appreciated in the art scene. Torino is a city that has so much to offer in terms of contemporary museums, contemporary art foundations, not just galleries and collections and really special sites. So I try to use it as a force to attract collectors in the city. Then we know that it's also the city of truffle, of gourmet food, so that plays a role too in the promotion of a good fair which has a good program but a good context around it. So in the recent years, the number of foreign collectors has grown so much. So I want to continue to develop that because I think that the opportunity to go to a city which is not like a metropolis, it's not like London or New York. At the same time, you don't go there for 2 days. If you go to Torino, you spend 3 days, 4 days, because you have enough to see, and it's quite an intimate context. All the collectors stay together, they see each other at the openings, and they have also an experience of the city which is beyond the contemporary. So I use that a lot. And then of course the third is trying to stimulate new collectors, because of course that's also an issue. I mean, you don't have just to treat well the collectors that are coming, but you have to do something to develop collecting. And I think in Italy we need that, because the general age group of the main collectors is, growing, and we'd like to have new collectors start. And so we're trying this advising program in the fair, where all the public that maybe comes is interested, but doesn't know how to approach it, could have at least a way into it. And this is something that maybe we need, and I'm very curious to see how it's going to work this year. So definitely, like, the collecting is an issue, and is something we have to continue, think about. We are involving in a special way this year a group of collectors, and we have asked them, for example, to be part of the juries of the prizes. We have 6 prizes, dedicated to different sections of the fair. We'd like that because we like to create benefits for the galleries. So we have a present future prize, Back to the Future, a prize for new one for photography, then museums acquisitions. It's all different projects. And usually the juries are also amazing juries made up by curators. But this year in every jury we added an important collector. And the collectors really like this idea because they like to be in touch with curators, participate to these dialogues which are usually very animated. And for us is a way to add a different gaze. So that I've asked that to a group of collectors that are close to the fair and that have been very actively participating. Then we have, I've asked to a group of collectors to be in these dialogues, in these walkie-talkies. And usually it was by invitation of a curator, or in some cases collectors that I know and who like to be visible and who are good speakers, who like to share their views. And so I look forward to having them, in this program. Usually these talks are very, very engaging. So the collector this year becomes a little bit like the focus of the fair. We would like to spoil the collectors because we know that if the collectors buy, they are like, the fair grows. They are, like you were saying, they are the engine of everything. So from the VIP lounge with a special project, everything is done in order to attract the collectors. If the galleries are happy, the quality of the fair continues to grow, and of course everything around it becomes more interesting for the public.